Bangor Housing's recent designation allows them to have more control over how their federal funding is spent.
Grace Bradley caught up with their executive director to hear their reallocation plan and how it will benefit Bangor residents.
Because we need to end generational poverty, and we owe that to the children that live in our housing to give them better opportunities maybe than their parents had when they started out.
Providing these opportunities has become a lot easier as the Federal Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD, designated Bangor Housing as part of their Moving to Work demonstration program.
Moving to Work is a demonstration program HUD came up with 20 years ago or so, giving more local control to housing authorities to spend HUD dollars as they best see fit. HUD programs blanket America, and what's best for Bangor may not be best for Philadelphia or Nebraska. We work incredibly hard to provide families with opportunities to get out of poverty. We can use our funding more flexibly to increase opportunities for families, allowing them the opportunity to get out of poverty, finish their goals, and ultimately move out of housing. So as we go to Moving to Work, we'll have the ability to use more of our resources in a different way. We're going to go from serving 130 families to over 400 families.
These resources and services include better pay for staff, building assets for residents through savings accounts, constructing new apartments, and providing increased support through their planned Educational and Opportunity Center, with construction starting in November. The initial need for the services Bangor Housing provides is clear, and now they can help even more families get on track out of generational poverty.
The housing need in Bangor and across America is dire. Our waiting list for seniors is 5 to 7 years long. There's just not enough for everybody. We serve a lot of families, a lot of young families, a lot of work-able families. And it's our job to help them provide opportunities so they know a path that they can get toward meaningful employment and ultimately move themselves out.
Grace Bradley, WABI TV5 News, Bangor.